Okay, I'm back. Hello, you guys. Welcome. It is Trainwreck Wednesday. Hopefully, I'm back live. My camera got all wonky, so I had to start over. Yes, I'm live. I see somebody. Hello. Is it Ann? Hi, Ann. Welcome. Hello, you guys. Welcome. Hey, Donna, you're back. Thank you for coming back. Welcome, y'all. I can't believe I actually got on live on the first try. Well, kind of the second try, because I don't know what happened a few minutes ago. Hi, Eva. Eva has joined. Welcome, Eva. Hello, you guys. So it's Trainwreck Wednesday, you guys, and it's Hump Day. So Trainwreck Wednesday and Hump Day are on the same day. So has it been a long week? Kinda, maybe. I planted flowers all weekend out in the yard, so I'm still kind of tired from that. But hello, Opal. How are you? So I'm Cassandra, you guys, and I'm with Pecan Porch Boutique, and we're finishing up our Western theme. Hi, Marilyn. Welcome. We're finishing up our Western dressers this week, y'all. So last week we worked on the cowgirl, and tonight we're gonna finish up the cowboy. So can you guys see now the cowgirl? So I finished her up from our last live. We pull you guys up a little so you can get a good look at her. So if you guys remember, we used the cowgirl paper, and then I used her on top of the grungy floral paper. And then, you guys, I decided, okay, what am I going to do with the edges? So what I did was I took some of the border from the Prim and Trim transfer, and I'm going to show you guys that. And I used the borders to outline her. And then I took some flowers for these two panels in the middle, and from the top, from the Floral Anthology transfer by IOD. So, you know, it's kind of a mixed match of things, but I think it coordinates really well. And that's kind of my style, y'all. I mix and match things all the time. So I want to show you guys this Prim and Trim transfer. So this is one of the retired transfers. IOD has retired this transfer, and I hate it because it is a great transfer. It's a transfer of borders, like all these different like trims and borders. Can you guys see those? So see how many you get on one roll. So these are all like borders that you can cut off and use, you know, maybe for dresser bottoms, or I don't know. I mean, you see what I did with it. Like, I just took it and ran it this way vertically and used it for the to kind of frame her out. But this is one of the retired transfers. It's called Prim and Trim, and it has some great borders on it. So for her, I used this top one here, this one, and then I used this one. And so I'm going to do the same thing for him, but I'm going to use these two right here. This one and this one on the guy. So yeah, so Prim and Trim. I do have a few of these left on my website. I love the board. I know, me too, Eva, and they retired it. I really hated that because I really do love this, and they haven't replaced it. So I really do love this border transfer. So, and I think I maybe have 3 or 4 on my website. But then that's it. I can't get any more. So yeah, so this is Prim and Trim. And so that is what I use to kind of frame out my girl here. I just kind of took two that were kind of coordinated together, and I kind of, you know, that kind of were similar in color. And I did one that here and then a different one on the bottom. Now, what I did do though, because as you can see from the whole sheet that I showed you, they kind of have a new look to them. And so what I did was I took some Dark and Decrepit, and I went in and I, you know, I painted on some Dark and Decrepit, let it sit for a few minutes, and then I kind of just dabbed it back. And I just kept doing that until I got it to be as dark as I wanted it to be. So that's what I used on these, just to kind of darken them up a little, kind of grunge them up just a little bit. And I also used Dark and Decrepit along the edges of the drawers to kind of darken them up a little, just to kind of give them a little bit of age along the edges of the drawers. And remember, you guys, I said that this drawer, like, oh, hi, Norma, how are you? And my sister's here. Hello, sister. And remember, y'all, I said this drawer has so many darn handles. I mean, it was like drawer pull overload. So I covered up the holes with wood filler, and then I ended up using these 2 holes anyway. But then I made new holes for the drawers down here, and I kind of inset them a little bit from the top drawers. Hi, Joy. How are you? Welcome. So yeah, so I made new holes because, I mean, I would have loved to have the original handles. I like original handles, even though they're kind of the old, outdated ones, because I can update them. But some people don't like the original handles, but I love the original handles. But I only had one. So I had to kind of, so I ordered these from Hobby Lobby, and they're the little horseshoe handles. I thought those went good with them. And then I just made separate, you know, holes for however many I wanted to put on there. So that's what I did, and she's all done. So, and then on the inside of this drawer, I actually ended up putting in the grungy floral paper here too, because these obviously was a child's chest, and they had wrote in big letters, they wrote baseball sports on there. So I covered them up with the grungy floral paper. So she is all done, I think, and we're going to be working on our cowboy tonight. So we're done with our cowgirl, and we're going to be working on our cowboy. So I think I told you guys last time, though, that my plan for the cowboy was to use the manufactured heart paper as the background. So I used the grungy floral over here. I'm going to be using the manufactured heart for the background of the cowboy. And then I am still going to use some of the trim from the Prim and Trim. And I had a couple, the ones that I was going to use, I actually had those left. So somebody using this one, and then I'm going to be using this smaller one, this one for him, to kind of frame him out as well. So, and then because, y'all, because I don't want to put any floral on him, and that's really the only transfers that we have, are more kind of a feminine transfer. And so I'm going to be using, well, we'll get to that. So this is what I'm going to be using for the guy. This is the manufactured heart decoupage paper by Roy Sacco Treasures. And so, and then here's my guy, the hunk in the hat. Here's my hunk in the hat, and I'm going to be using him. And you see how he kind of has like a straight side here? So I'm going to be using him. I'm going to kind of put him to the side there, kind of like that. But I really, y'all, I really want to get his belt in here. You know, he had on these belts in them jeans. Woo! We don't want to leave them jeans and that belt off. So I think what I'm going to do for him, I want to bring him up some. I didn't bring her up. She kind of starts right here. But if I start right here, I won't get his belt on there. So for him, I'm actually going to bring him up. And I'm going to actually start him right here. And so he's going to kind of come to the side like that. That's kind of way. And then I'll have enough room at the bottom to put his belt on. And I'll keep his hat at the same time. So I had a choice. I could either lose the belt or lose the hat. And I don't want to lose either one of them. So that's what I'm going to do. So I kept the belt here. And so then I took some other pieces off of that transfer, y'all. These little stamps that were on the transfer. and these right here came off, oh, backward. These right here came off of her transfer. And so what I'm going to do, because I don't, I don't want to put any floral here, but I had some things on her, the two middle ones. So I'm going to use these stamps, and I'm going to decoupage one here and one there. And then for the top, I had some of these also left over from the paper. I had some of these, oh yeah, Donna, I wanted to keep them both. Girl, I wanted the hat and the belt. So that was my solution. So I had some of these little cactuses here from the paper that were left over. And so I'm going to use those to decoupage in the middle of the dresser. Like I did on her, I used part of the floral anthology. So that's what I'm going to be using for the top. So that is the plan. And so I did a blend, you guys. So I decided for his chest, I was going to do a blend of, so the frame is done in Bohemian Blue. And this is all DIY paints. And then I kind of tried to take some colors that I used in her, so I could just kind of coordinate them, but not really make them the same. So I used some Bohemian Blue mixed with, I used, what else did I use? I used Bohemian Blue. I even used a little bit of Marquee on here, which is the red that you see. I used the Gypsy Green again, like I did over there. And then I used some cake batter, which is this yellow that you see. And so I just kind of blended it all together and just came up with these various blends just to kind of coordinate with this dresser over here. So that is where I have come to, you guys. So tonight we're just going to finish up our decoupage. We're going to finish up getting this on here, and then we're going to get our cowboy on here and see how he looks. And then I'll see how that border looks, how I think that border is going to look to frame him out with. Okay, so, and y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna have to sit on the floor. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to decoupage this. I'm gonna have to sit on the floor. So if y'all come back, like, after the live is over in about an hour and I'm still sitting on the floor, it's not because I'm just sitting on the floor. It's because I can't get up, y'all. It's hard. It's hard getting up now. I'm just gonna admit, I can get down there, but I can't get up. Not good. But we're gonna have to do it. So here I go. All right. So I got my brush that I'm gonna use. I have my oh, and another thing, y'all. So I started out using Big Top, and I never mix my. I usually never ever mix my my whatever I'm using to put down my decoupage. I use the same thing to seal over my decoupage. But I ran out of Big Top, and I won't have any more until Wednesday. So I just had to go with my, and I have one liquid patina left. So I just went with my polyacrylic. So that's what I'm going to be using to put the decoupage down tonight. So for the first time, I actually mixed them. I usually don't, because of that one time, y'all, that I blew up. It really wasn't my fault. It was my classmate's fault. And he added something to the beaker in physical science, and we blew up the dang beaker. That's why I don't add stuff together. So, but I had to. All right. So here we go. I'm going on the floor, y'all. So, let's see. Can I still see y'all? Yep. And y'all can see me, I think. So I'm gonna pour a little water. Let's see, I might have to turn y'all down a little bit more. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of water so I can do my wet cut when I get in between the drawers. Whoops. Well, that was almost a catastrophe. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my polyacrylic, and I like these little that's why you put bags of snacks around the floor, just in case. Hey Joy, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. Just in case I'm down here for 2 hours, at least I can snack and I can peek my head around the corner and see the TV. That's a good idea, Joy. Okay, so I'm going to use my, again, I'm using polyacrylic because I ran out of patinas. I will have more back in stock on Wednesday. There was a shortage of patinas, so. And I got my, my plastic wrap. Miss Norma says, I can relate. It's hard. I mean, and y'all, here's the bad part about it. I have always, see the way I'm sitting crisscross like this? I have always sat like that since I was a kid. And I still find myself getting on the floor and sitting like this, thinking I can get right up like I was a kid. But nope, I can sit like this. It's unsitting like this. That's the problem. So, but yet I continue to do it. All right, y'all, let's keep it moving. Let's get this down. So I went ahead and I already you know, attached it to I started the decoupage for the top, so I would have an anchor already. So now I'm just going underneath here and starting underneath. And again, the key to decoupage, the wet method, is just to make sure you put down enough. You know, don't be too skimpy with it. Because to me, it's better to put down enough than to put down, to put down too much than not enough. All right. So this is where the bottom drawer ends. And I can see I need a little bit more. Pull my paper back just a little. A little bit more there. And the only thing about polyacrylic, I used to use polyacrylic all the time for decoupaging, but polyacrylic, the only thing about it is that it really will clump up on you if you're not used to using it. That's the only thing about polyacrylic that it will do, which the patinas aren't really that bad about doing that, but polyacrylic will. So you really have to kind of spread it out and make sure you catch the drifts. All right, let's keep going. And I have already sealed this piece, so this is just getting, so while I'm putting my decoupage down, I'm actually just going all over the drawer from side to side, because just giving it a little bit of extra sealer anyway. Doesn't hurt. I'm not putting it in the groove here because that's where I'm going to do my wet cut. And this plastic wrap is just really good, y'all, for just smoothing out those wrinkles. I used to do it with my hand all the time, but my fingers, I'd always wonder why my fingers kept getting stuck to the paper. Well, because, you know, the medium actually, you know, this paper is thin. The medium would sometimes come through the paper. So that's why. All right. Bottom one now. In the middle and the bottom. And again, I'm just making sure that I get enough on there. Kind of pull my paper back a little once I get the majority of it off and get up under there again. Kind of watching my polyacrylic, because again, it will just clump up in places if you don't smooth it out. Once you get the hang of working with it though, it's good. All right, so we're at the bottom. Getting this little inset here. Let's see, did I get all of it? Nope. A little bit hanging right here that obviously didn't get enough. This should do it. Alright, there we go. So now we got our background on, the manufactured heart. I think that looks kind of good. So again, y'all, I chose to do, I could have done a couple things different. I could have painted, where I put this paper, I could have painted the background white so that the paper would pop through. But again, I'm using it as a background, so I really didn't need that to pop through. Sonia says, these are going to be great. Oh, hi Sonia. Thank you. Yeah, so I could have painted the background white, but because I'm covering up most of it and just using it as a background, there really was no need in that. And then a lot of times, I like to use my decoupage papers over dark colors. I don't always like to paint white behind them. So I chose to use the dark colors on here. So that is that. We have that down now. And so now I'm going to use my water and my brush just to wet cut in between where these drawers are. So then I can just go back and I can, you know, just take my 220 grit sandpaper there we go, it's starting to cut through now. So I can just take my 220 grit sandpaper and take off the excess, just like I would, you know, on any other decoupage that I was doing. And so I'm just kind of wetting it up right where these drawers divide. And I learned from Royce that, and I didn't know this, but I learned from her that for places on the paper that have more pigment, more color, you have to add a little bit more water when you're doing the wet distress. All right. we go, pull that off. So I have that left, y'all, to play with, to do something with. I'll probably use it around the edge, kind of like I did the grungy foil. Okay, so let me just kind of go in and pull off this excess here. So that when I put my guy over it, I'm not having to pull off 2 layers. Get it as close to the drawer as I can. All right, there we go. And so for these little edges here, I'll later go back when I pull the drawers out. I'll just take my 220 grit sandpaper and I will I'll cut those off. All right, so for my hunk in the hat here, I think I want him to go kind of right here up against the edge, because when I put the border on around him, I want to take off this edge here too. And actually, now that I decided to put the border, I really didn't have to make this organic edge. I could have just left it straight since I was going to cover it up with the border anyway. But at the time that I did it, I didn't know I was going to cover it up with the border. So all right, so Hunky Hank here is going to go kind of right about here. And then I plan on putting his belt and his jeans back on down here. So then I will have a whole hunk of a Hank on here. So that's the plan, y'all. All right. Okay, so make sure I get him lined up here. So I'm going to start right at the top and see if I can get his hat down, and then move our way down. I have to be really careful with this polyacrylic because, again, it's just not as easy to work with as the Big Top or the liquid patina. I mean, you do get used to it, because before I started using either of those, I used polyacrylic a lot. All right. Do it. Okay, I'm going to move on over, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to catch the edges over here that are on this other drawer here, and a little bit in this edge here. So I get to cut right here, which is good, so it's not cutting his eyes. I didn't want to cut into his eyes either. Then I have these little indentations to work with, though. I'm going to try to work around them. All right, so now we got our hunk of a Hank anchored on here. We're gonna keep on moving. Hi, Shirley. Yeehaw. Yeah, yeehaw. That's a good word. That's a good word for our project. Yeehaw. All right. We got the hunk in the hat anchored down. Hello, Anna. Is that Anna or Jane? I can never tell which one of you guys it is, but I know it's one of y'all. Hello. Okay. All right, Hank. Let's go, guy. So again, I would come back anyway, right, and put my top coat on my paper. So just kind of doing that while I'm doing it. All right, so I'm just sealing the paper up. So it kind of already has a seal. All right, Hank. Hunky Hank. Kind of getting flat right there. There's Hank's head. I probably could, if I knew where my scissors were, I could probably take my scissors and just give it a little clip right here, and that way it'll give it a little bit more play, and I really wouldn't have to wrestle with that. But I don't know where my scissors are, y'all, and again, I'm on the floor, so it would take me probably 45 minutes to get up and get them, even if I knew. All right, so we're just gonna keep moving then. We're just gonna keep moving. Get it. I'm going to put just a little more under here, just to make sure. Got it there. All right, there we go. Y'all, I'm ironing out his shirt. I can tell you. This is the first time I don't mind ironing a man's shirt. I'm ironing out his shirt, y'all. All right, so we're going to keep on moving. And I got his belt right here, so we can put that on the bottom. And we'll see how Hank looks at the end. A hunk of a Hank here. Hank the hunk. AKA the hunk in the hat. All right, we're pressing on, y'all. So I think that looks, what do you guys think? I kind of think those two, the background kind of looks good with him. I think, he, it kind of gives him a really masculine, look. So I wasn't really sure. I really had a hard time, you guys, choosing a background for him, because we don't have, I mean, honestly, a lot of our papers and even a lot of the transfers are kind of more geared toward, you know, femininity, I would think, with the flowers and, you know, the birds and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I have this paper, because I think it gives just enough masculinity. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with putting flowers around the guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I wanted him to have a little bit of something. Since she had all the flowers, I wanted him to have a little bit of a more masculine look. All right. All right, y'all, he is down. All right, so now I can put his belt and his jeans, because I have room. Since I pulled him up some, now I have room to put his belt and his jeans right back where they belong. Just kind of make sure I can line them up right. All right. And I will probably take, kind of like I did over on her, I kind of ended up taking some, maybe not, I'm not sure. Sometimes these things just, you know, they go and my ideas come and then they go and then they come and then they go. So with her, I kind of put some of the grungy floral down around the bottom. With him, I don't know if I will put any more of the paper down around the bottom, but we'll see. Sometimes when you're creating, right, you just, you kind of, things come to you as you go along. All right, so let's see, his arm is kind of right here, I think. Maybe right here. I kind of want to pull it up just a little so you'll be able to tell. Even though I'm gonna have to that would be where I would make the wet cut anyway. All right, now I took too much time, so I gotta add some more. It's drying up on me. Just gonna put it on this bottom. I was kind of trying to put it up in that, but that's not gonna work. But don't like it like that. Okay, y'all. Sorry. I'm trying to make up my mind. I want to fold it. I think I'm going to fold it in around this top little part here, because to me that makes more sense. That it's folded in around here. Kind of like that. Okay, so there where are his jeans now? We got his jeans on, y'all. Ain't nothing like a man in jeans. So we got his jeans on and we have him all down now. Now he's whole. So now I can go back here and do my wet cut. This is already cut because I had already pulled this off, so I don't have to do a wet cut there. And I can go ahead and do a wet cut right there and see how he looks. There it goes. Doesn't take much water. And because I have this gap here, it's easy to cut him, right? So there's that. He was already cut there. So now I have to do this up here. And again, I'm glad that I didn't slice his eyes. That worked out actually pretty good. And then I'll go back in and I'll take these edges down with my 220 grit sandpaper and clean that all up. So what do you guys think? Not too bad, I don't think. And so I think maybe I will go back. So this is the leftover paper from the manufactured heart paper. And so I could put a piece over here on this side, kind of like I did her, and a little small piece over there on that side. I think that kind of would look pretty good. Maybe. So, little piece over here. Let me do a quick wet cut. Let's see what we get. So I'm just gonna wet cut this and see if I can get a little small piece for over here. So I wasn't sure if I was going to put this on, but I think as I look at it, now I'd kind of like to kind of bring this paper down a little bit to the bottom. All right, so I just got a little piece here, and I think that should fit right along there, hopefully. And so I'll use this kind of, when I do the border, I won't run it all the way to the bottom. I'll just use this paper kind of just to layer just a little over the edge. Not to cover him up, but just a little bit. Okay. What did I do? Okay, here's my paper. All right, there we go. What do you guys think? So I added that to the bottom there. Hi, Joy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is extremely different, isn't it? Y'all, I'm good for different. Y'all know me. I am good for different. If you want different, I am your girl. All right, so here. I've already got my edges here, but I'm going to take a little bit off here because it's too long. So I'll just take a little bit of this off. Like that. right? And so this is gonna go, can you guys see? Yeah. So this is gonna go just kind of like right here. Not, you know, I'm not really caring that it covers up the whole piece because, you know, it's okay for the colors to show as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so I'm just gonna, wherever it lands, that's okay, because this is just kind of a little border at the bottom. Just to kind of keep it consistent with what I've done on the other one. And, you know, I could always come back and fill in if I, you know, if I wanted to fill in some more, I could. So I will take that edge off over there as well. But it just kind of helps to pull this paper down to the bottom. So I think that looks okay. All right, so what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. Let's see, Joy says, I love different. My mom told me that it took her 50 years to get used to me. Oh my goodness, 50 years? Your mom said that? It took her 50 years to get used to me, but here the drums of totally different drummer. But here the drums are totally, I thanked her. Oh, me too, Joy. I'm like, when people tell me I'm odd or different, I'm like, really? You think so? I mean, it's like a compliment. I agree. I certainly agree. Okay, y'all, so let's see, what time is it? Gosh, it's 8:20 already. So these are the borders that I plan to use, y'all, from that Prim and Trim transfer. And they're not going to match. I mean, they're not going to match. Nothing I ever does matches hardly. So, so I'm just going to take them, though, and I'm going to kind of frame him out the same way that I did her. They're not going to match, but I think in the end they will all come together. Claudine says she loves it because it's so unique. Thank you, Claudine. Yes, different is a compliment, Eva. You are so right. I mean, when people tell me I'm odd and different, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, so this is definitely a unique piece, as I try to make most of my pieces unique, different. So I'm going to take this border here, and I'm going to just kind of do it here, and then on each side, and then I will take this smaller border. And it doesn't match either, but it coordinates, I think. So I will take the smaller one. I'll probably do the smaller one up top, and then this wider one. When I say small, I mean wide. One of them is wider than the other. Then I'll use the wider one on the bottom. Just kind of the way I did over on her. So then I'll take this one. Kind of like this, maybe, and I will put these on the side just to frame, just to kind of, you know, put a frame. It's kind of like a picture frame. So just to frame this out, I'll do this one on these two sides, and then I'll do the larger one on each side of this one. And again, y'all, this is from that Prim and Trim transfer. That border transfer is just awesome, and I really hate that they retired it, but it is one of the retired ones. All right, y'all. So, so yeah. So then I also will go back and I will put my knobs. I'll do the same thing that I did over on this side. I'll inset the knobs, or the handles, the pulls, here and here and here and here. And then our hunk in the hat will be done too. All right, so yeah, so and then once I'm done, you guys, I will post a picture of the finished project. So yeah, so hopefully you guys, I think, you know, to me, the moral of the story is, you know, be as different as you can. I mean, just be as creative as you want to. It's okay, you know, I mean, you know, to me, art is all about creativity, in my opinion. And I think that, you know, the way that I create isn't going to be the way you create, but I don't want to walk in someone's house and see, you know, that's why Rooms to Go never did really, I don't have anything against Rooms to Go. Now, don't get me wrong. They got some nice stuff in there. But I don't want you to put together my whole living room set, you know. I want to go around the store and pick out things that may not go with that particular living room set. I like uniqueness. So, oh, thank you, sister. Okay, so, yeah, so we went west, you guys. I told y'all we was going west. We headed west. So we have our sassy sister over there, and we have our hunk in the hat over here. I will finish him up. Again, I think I'm going to use one of these stamps. I think I will use it to put, like, decoupage it right here. And then I have a couple of stamps left over, and I have some of these. This actually came from her, this stamp set. Y'all see that? Yeah, there we go. Came from her decoupage paper. And then I have some of these cactuses left over. So I will decoupage a little collage of those right in the middle. Kind of like she has something in the middle of her. And then that will be it, y'all. So, but before we go, y'all, I just want to make sure that you guys know, have y'all seen, I swear I think the IOD sisters is out to get me. They are out to get me. They are out to make sure that I have no money left in retirement for the time that I retire. They are, the IOD sisters. So have you guys seen all of the new spring release stuff? So yesterday the sisters announced the spring release of, let's see, 3 new stamps. It is the Sprig stamp, the Branches stamp, and then the Sunflowers 2-pack stamp. 2-pack. Beautiful. And then today they announced 2 new transfers. The Exploration transfer, y'all, has me so freaking excited. And then the English Toil transfer. So 3 new stamps yesterday, 2 new transfers today. So those are all available on my website, you guys. And anything that you saw me use here tonight too is available on my website. The spring releases are available for pre-order, but they're actually expected to come in early this time, y'all. So like in a week or 2. So I mean, like, yeah. Barbara says, oh, you're late, Barbara. That's okay. Catch us on replay, girl. Catch us on replay. We'll see you then. Those stamps are beautiful. I didn't get to see today. Oh, you didn't get to see today's either, Eva? Oh my gosh, go back and catch the replay, girl. But I'm just gonna tell you now. Be careful, because your blood pressure is gonna go up. It's gonna go up. They had some beautiful stuff. So yeah, so those are all available on my website, y'all, for pre-order. If you guys want to order, and everything that you saw here is also available on my website. So yeah, so we have our sassy sister over there. There she is. And then we have our hunk in the hat over here. And I'm gonna finish him up, and then I will post a picture so you guys can see the finished project. And who knows what we're gonna do on next week's? I don't know yet. I got plenty out there to choose from though. Joy says, I want to see the new moles. Oh my goodness, Joy. I don't know. I'm telling you, the sisters are out to get me. They are out to get me. They're out to get me. They're out to make sure that when I retire, I am penniless. So, but yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. Whew. Anyway, So yeah, so you guys check out my website if you're interested in anything, interested in any of the pre-orders, interested in anything you saw me use. Until we meet again, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching me. I always appreciate when you guys join me. I really do. Until we meet again, you guys, you know how we say it on the porch. Y'all know how we say it on the porch. Come on, y'all, say it with me. Don't forget to bud, bloom, and be unique. Thanks, you guys. Have a great evening. See you guys next week. Or maybe you guys, I might see you guys in between next week because I want to do another porch peeper series. Take you guys to the backyard so y'all can see my bumpkin backyard and pecan porch. So maybe before next Wednesday. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.